What if your bad habits are not bad habits at all, gang? What if your bad habits are actually trauma responses? We don't really know ourselves, and oftentimes we lack certain accountability when it comes to our actions, and we also don't try to pinpoint where a lot of these things come from. But a lot of the bad habits that we feel like we have are so hard to get rid of because they're not really habits. They're just responses, how we typically go about responding to things when we're triggered. A lot of our bad habits aren't bad habits. They're just triggers and responses. So for example, people pleasing. A lot of times people pleasing comes from a place of where you didn't feel safe growing up. You didn't have a voice and you recognize that keeping people happy were going to keep you safe. Being in a space of where you did not feel safe and you felt overwhelmed was quite draining. So you became a people pleaser to always just stay out the way and under people's radar and not to encounter everyone else's wrath. That's not bad behavior. That's not a bad habit, gang. That's a trauma response. Some people struggle to accept compliments or nice gestures because they have been led to believe that they don't deserve love and support. You're not being humble. You're trying to hide your light, and you don't want to acknowledge that your light is there. Not a bad habit, gang. Trauma response. For the people that self-isolate, I used to be one of them. You're not just introverted. Your nervous system has trained yourself to associate human connections with danger, betrayal, rejection, and a bunch of things that will make you feel uncomfortable. So you've deduced that self-isolating yourself is the best way to form peace. In procrastination, you're not just trying to avoid a task. You probably want to do the task, but the fear that it takes, the stress and the energy that you have to put into the task, the perfectionism, and maybe the oncoming failure that you might experience doing this task is what's keeping you from not actually doing that task. And also, a lot of times, procrastination comes from a place of, since you know you can do it, you won't do it. And that's also linked back to struggling to accept compliments and being humble and dulling your light. A lot of times we don't want to do certain things because we don't want to outshine other people. Gang, fuck other people. Avoiding decision making. Oftentimes your brain is linked to past situations and past traumas of decisions that you chose to make, and they bring you some very unprecedented results and you didn't like them. And you got to realize, gang, not everything is going to go your way. You have to make a decision despite anything. Not being picky or indecisive, your brain just kind of learned that making a wrong choice can set you back a very long time. Feeling guilty because you're not doing anything or you're quote unquote lazy. You're not lazy, gang. Who the fuck designed in this society that they made this world just so hard to fucking live in? We got credit scores, we got bills, we got water. We got all these little things that we probably didn't have to worry about before. We live in a world where you have to pay to eat, and if you can't pay to eat, you damn near be starving. We live in a world of where you can't pay your rent, you would get kicked out. No housing, no nothing. Who the fuck says we're supposed to work hard? We were supposed to just probably lounge into the sun all day and fucking hunt animals. But here we are worrying about a credit score. Your worth isn't tied to your productivity, gang. It's not. But most people push themselves and overwork themselves to feel worthy. Losing feeling for the things you once loved to do. That is a huge one for a lot of our people. I don't necessarily believe it's because you're unmotivated. I just think you became numb to a lot of the things that you've been through. Trauma and pain can have a way of just stripping the excitement out of everything. Everything can lose its color when you're in that state of mind. Take it easy on yourself. Give yourself grace. You only been on this planet. You just got here. It doesn't even matter if you're 60 years old. You're still too fucking young. 60 years is not enough to fucking learn all the things that you have to learn in your life. I met a lady who was in her late 80s and told me she's just now finding herself in her late 80s. It's never too late, gang. It's never too late.